Hello, Bizarre Story friends. You've tuned into the Bizarre AF, a place where we talk about the strange, the unusual, the unknown, and all things Bizarre AF. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be your host for today's episode. And as always, we ask that you please keep an open mind, keep a skeptical ear, but keep listening to those facts as we take you on our newest journey. Breaking news: new comet or alien spacecraft? Well, hello, my Bizarre Story friends. Please help me welcome my co-hostess with the mostess, Alicia. Hey, girl.
Hello. It's so nice to be here.
How you doing today? How you doing?
I'm good. You know what? I when we were talking about this topic, I was like, okay, so I just want to bring up the fact, like, sometimes finding weird topics that really make us excited.
Yes.
Sometimes
Sometimes you get a rut.
You get into
get in a rut. You can't break out this little rut like a writer.
Yeah, and so we were texting, and we're like, okay, so I was like, yeah, I actually have one that I'm working on. We always talk about, like, we don't tell each other. That's another thing. We never tell each other specifically what we are going to record or talk about.
Right.
Which I am always in the back of my mind a little nervous that we're both going to talk about the same thing. And we've like put all of this time, effort, and energy into it.
That's a good point. I've never thought about that, actually.
I'm always nervous that it's going to happen. It's not happened yet, but we were texting back and forth, and you were like, this one is not working. It's not, I'm in like, it's like a writer's block situation. Do you have, if there's anything you can think of, I'm like, actually, there's something that has been driving me fucking crazy. Great. And it's this exact topic.
It worked out great. And I have to tell you, I'll tell everyone here, it wrote itself. Like, it was just, it spewed out.
Mm-hmm. Divinely guided, or maybe extraterrestrial, like guided.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So there is, it doesn't matter what day it is. There's always some kind of new news about aliens, potential aliens, potential disclosure. And honestly, just pick one out of the bag and you can be like, oh, this made major news, or it's being talked about and nobody knows about it.
Right. Exactly. And we've talked about that before. It could be a host of reasons why. But one of them being that people don't want you to know about it.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be just Farsi poo-poo, but
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to, and actually we're going to talk about that actual, kind of topic at the end of this. We're going to this conversation is going to lead us into this actual discussion.
Okay. Interesting.
It's fascinating. Okay. So the United States, China, other countries, they're creating spacecraft all the time. We call them space probes. So these robotic spacecraft, they're designed to explore space, right? Gather information about celestial objects, right?
Yeah.
Sent to all sorts of locations in our solar system, and ultimately beyond, right, to study planets, moons, asteroids, other anomalies.
Yeah, I mean, space is huge.
It's huge.
It's massive, and the idea is that space is expanding. So, like, if we were to send something out 50 years ago, our universe and like the space that like life, it just continues to expand.
Yeah.
And so the area is even greater and greater. So one would think you would have to add more and more probes out to, record or
Yes.
get information. It makes sense that you would have not just one to take everything. It's like you would have
a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The Voyager program from NASA, right? That's what they do. They send out probes all the time.
Right.
Some were to photograph stuff. Some were to record, to get audio signals. Some were to record radiation. Some to do all of the above. So, I mean, we exploring our space, right? We can't travel ourselves, so we send probes.
Totally.
Now, some of these are going to ultimately travel outside of our solar system, right? Eventually, because they're on a trajectory. Some orbit, like some we send to orbit stuff, and they'll stay in orbit forever, or until they, I guess, decompose or whatever. But some are just sent, shut out into space, and they're just going to travel in a straight line for the, rest of eternity, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Until we eventually lose, I guess, contact with them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But with space being an infinite, and when you start thinking about that too, by the way, when I start thinking about how space is infinite, like forever, like there is no end.
Yeah.
It's hard to wrap your brain around that thought.
I feel like I have less. The amount of brain cells I have in my like they melted just with you saying that.
Because when you really start thinking about it, it doesn't compute. We just can't. We can't rationalize that, right?
Absolutely.
So it only stands to reason in my mind that we can't possibly be the only organism or only planet that has some level of life. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Agreed.
So it also therefore stands to reason that if we're sending space probes out for information, then wouldn't those other planets be sending space probes out for information? I mean, doesn't that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be doing the same thing we're doing?
I mean, yeah. Okay. The only the reason that they wouldn't is they already know. Like
or
for
they
me,
don't need to because they can travel through time, or a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But yeah, if we're doing it and space is so vast, why wouldn't there be other space probes out there?
I mean, it seems reasonable.
Totally.
If you think that you're not the only living thing, then other living things must be researching too.
If space is infinite,
if it's infinite,
if it continues to expand, if we have no clue how big it is,
right?
It would only make sense that would happen at least once.
That's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think. Well, back in January of 2014, a meteor, which was later identified, they called it CNOS 2014-0108, identifies the date that it landed or crashed, impacted the Pacific Ocean near Papua New Guinea. And nobody thought really too much of it at the time.
Sure.
But after studying its trajectory and its speed for a few years, they discovered it was unique in that it was traveling over 130,000 miles per hour. Now, that's not totally unheard of, but those normally travel as slow as 27,000 miles per hour. So this information they discover at this point leads them to believe
it was intentional.
It was interstellar, meaning did not come from our solar system. It came from an entirely different solar system.
Oh my God.
So in 2022, the U.S. Space Command actually confirmed with 99.999% certainty that it was in fact interstellar. And they only do 99.9999 because they can't guarantee it. Exactly.
Okay. So they confirmed specifically that it was interstellar, meaning this space debris,
this
space
thing,
rock,
object, yes,
came from a different area.
Completely different solar system.
Completely different solar system. So I'm just trying to be like, I mean, come on, I believe in fucking aliens. Let's be honest. But I'm trying to think from more of a skeptical perspective.
Yes.
sure, of course that would happen if our universe is so huge and like there are so many solar systems that are like, once again, infinite amount of solar systems.
Yes.
Eventually you'd have some kind of rock, debris, whatever, that had, I don't know, come off. Like, what if it was a fucking volcano somewhere else, came out into the stratosphere, and then wandered over, or it was an impact from a moon or like a comet or something in a different, sure, it's a rock.
Yep.
Sure.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
Space is like rocks floating.
That is what space is. It's a bunch of floating rocks.
Yeah. And debris.
Exactly.
But that's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't even hear about that.
It's crazy. Because think about the infinite of space, and then think about this particular thing from another solar system hitting the microscopic Earth. I mean, that's crazy. The odds. Think about the odds.
The odds are small and then not so small at the same time.
Exactly.
But it's fucking weird.
It's weird. It's weird nonetheless. Yeah. So they, like I said, they confirmed that it was in fact interstellar origin, citing the velocity of the object relative to the sun, but also classified data.
Okay.
And it was left at that.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we know.
So
that's how they confirmed it.
Yeah, but there's also classified data. Why, if it's just a rock floating in fucking space, how is that classified?
Exactly. That doesn't make sense.
Have you heard of, oh God, what is it called? I'm going to say moissanite, but it's not moissanite, moissanite or something. It trended on TikTok and like on social media around 2020 or maybe before. People were like really into crystals. I mean, people still are.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I don't mind crystals. I kind of like them. But, there was a lot of people, sometimes it's like pink is trending. This one was like a green one, and it's believed to be an asteroid or something that is not from Earth.
That people have
rings, stones, it's supposed to. And so every stone has like properties or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But this is something that did not come from Earth, right?
Interesting.
And around 2020, like this is something we could probably talk about, but like they're like, oh, I'm going to get this. And like things change. And like you're going to try to get like, the aliens to come and they're going to save us or whatever. Which I don't know. Have you seen Independence Day? There's so many. So, people were talking about that and how they sell stones that are, in crystal shops anywhere you want to go to. You can buy these stones. There's no government data. It's not classified. These fucking, moissanite or whatever, green bumpy stones. It's an asteroid from a different.
But to play devil's advocate like you were doing before, there's so many fucking psychopathic cult leaders that make their own rocks and sell sell them.
You mean like Mother God who sold?
Yes, or Sherry Shepherd. Did she do that? Or not Sherry Shepherd, Sherry. My crazy bitch that I keep wanting to talk about.
Yes.
And then there's another guy who made, I think maybe it was her that made her rocks. I don't know. Anyway, I know. I mean, it's, like what to believe.
Yeah. Totally.
That's the bottom line. But I would personally love to know what that confidential data is.
Yeah, what is
Please tell me what that is.
What
the hell? Like, to your point, like, what could there possibly be confidential about that?
Right. Like, why is this not being sold in Herbs and Arts on Colfax?
Make no... Exactly.
Like, what's the big deal?
So with this confirmation, they very much wanted to recover the materials to study them if it's interstellar. So they go to the site with this gigantic magnetic... what they call a magnetic sled, and they gather all this material from the ocean floor. And they're going based upon where they believe this object impacted. It's, like I said, in the ocean. And so a guy by the name of, it's a professor, his name is Avi Loeb. He's a Harvard professor. I'm sure you've heard about him.
I
have. And he leads this team. And this research team. Yeah. And so Professor and his team at first only find a whole bunch of volcanic ash. And so they say, okay, well, we've got all of this sludge. Let's go run it through some mesh and see what we can find. Well, they go finer and finer and finer and finer. They keep going down and down and down and down.
They're like 40 or...
Until they're finally at like a quarter of a millimeter. Like, and if you don't know what a quarter of a millimeter, that's like that's a grain of sand.
Yeah,
it's tiny.
Yes.
And they take that remnants and they put it under a microscope. And lo and behold, they see these spheres. And I think they call them spherules.
Okay.
And he says he starts to lose his shit because he's like, well, if there is one, there's many. Where there is one, there is many.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And sure enough, within a few hours, they find more than 50 of these spherules. They call them these spheral samples. And if you're watching, that's what they look like.
It looks like, just to go through.
Looks like metal balls.
It looks like metal balls. Okay, I saw this when we were setting up for the episode, and I honestly thought it was just like a holiday screensaver that you put up. So it is just, it looks like, honestly, gold ornaments, like those basic gold round ornaments that
some
you may have
kind of look shiny and smooth. Some look a little,
but they all have a center. Like in the center, it's like silver, so it's all gold, like glitter.
Oh yeah, a couple of them have a little dot,
and it looks like there's a dot of silver in the center of it, which is like, it brings me back to like a 1970s or 1960s like old gold ornament with silver, like painted gold with silver.
Yeah, that's what that is what it looks like.
Well, that's talk about holiday wallpaper on your screensaver.
That's funny. Yeah, you can put a little Merry Christmas on the top with it would kind of look like that, like confetti with some little gold balls.
Merry Christmas from the Bizarre AF. Or you know what? We should put that up.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That.
Let's do that. Happy Holidays from the Interstellar aliens.
Yeah. Oh my God, let's do that. That's great. Okay, so in 2017, there was another interstellar object discovered speeding through our solar system past our sun, and they called it Oumuamua. I think it was called Oumuamua is what they called it. I'm not going to go into this one because we're going to come back to it, but I want to mention it at this point.
And that was what year was
it's
that?
Another in 2017.
2017. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, the fact that these, we'll call them spheres, balls,
sure, were
made of material tougher than even iron meteorites and moving faster than 95% of the stars in the vicinity of the sun suggested to this Professor Avi that potentially it could be a spacecraft from another civilization or some sort of technological gadget. And he likens the situation to any of the Voyager spacecrafts launched by NASA, hence me talking about that at the beginning of the show. Our spacecrafts will exit the solar system in about 10,000 years. So just imagine them colliding with another planet a billion years from now, right? They would appear like some meteor crashing into their planet.
Right. It would have spent so much time out in the
right and disintegrated
weather.
Into whatever.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily know what it is. This is his point that he makes. So this professor is trying to understand if these sphericals are artificial or are they natural. And if they're natural, he says it's going to give the researchers insight into what materials may exist outside of our solar system. Makes sense.
Sure.
But if it's artificial, then the questions really kick in.
Right. Who created
Who,
it?
why, what? Yes.
Yeah.
So in an interview with this Professor Loeb, he is quoted as saying, quote, "It will take us tens of thousands of years to exit our solar system with our current spacecraft to another star. This material spent that time arriving to us, but it's already here. We just need to check our backyard to see if we have packages from an interstellar Amazon that takes billions of years for the travel."
Interesting. That is something I cannot wrap my head around right now. So what he's saying, okay, tens of thousands of years.
So if our spacecraft, if our probes aren't going to leave our solar system for 10,000 years, and this thing is in fact interstellar from another, well, it is interstellar.
Right.
It means it has traveled at least 10,000 years.
Okay,
at least.
At the very least 10,000. Like I'm going back in like just in time, right? So just over 2,000 years ago, we talk about like the birth of Christianity. Like just over 2,000 years ago. I mean, the birth of the United States, as we know it, was like 200 something years ago. Egyptian civilization, right? Like Mesopotamia, that was like that's less than 10,000 years ago, right? Like, or I don't know, I'm probably talking out of my ass, but like you go back to like King Tut and, you know, the Roman Empire and
I don't think
the Colosseum.
Yeah, we're not 10,000 years.
No. We're not 10,000 years.
No.
But like you go back to the Roman Colosseum and Greeks, it's like we're talking about like, you know, numbers. Yeah, like just singular, like one, like one AD is like
thousands. We're not talking tens of thousands or 10,000.
Tens of thousands. That's like, you know, we're still hunter-gatherer societies.
Yeah.
Like not in the same, like maybe similar, but the way our social like structures were concerned, like that is cave paintings. Tens of thousands of years ago. That's us barely surviving.
That's like I said, we're comparatively bebes.
Like not even like maybe the wheel. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even think that's the case. My aqueducts like this. Nothing. Like it's in that is so incomprehensible.
Right. It really is. It is.
At the very least, 10,000 years. And they are able to send out probes. Our first probes went out, what?
Yeah,
1960, 1950s?
A couple decades ago or something?
Yeah.
Whatever. Nuts.
That's fucking crazy.
Crazy when you think about it that way. It really is.
And we think we're the most intelligent species.
Well, we're the only species. So
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Nothing else exists, you know, in our expanding universe.
So what are these spherals? So...
yeah.
As we saw, if you're watching, they're almost perfect spheres or metallic marbles, keeping in mind how tiny they are. And when you look at them in a microscope, they look very distinct from the background, this professor says. They have colors of blue, gold, brown, and some of them resemble kind of what you would think of as a miniature Earth. Like if you looked at it from a distance, kind of the colors of them kind of resemble the colors of Earth.
Blue, green, brown.
Yes. And upon further examination, he said they discovered that within the spheres are more spheres.
This is not an Orion's belt.
Like a Russian doll kind of thing, like a sphere and a sphere and a sphere and a sphere.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say
Orion's belt? Maybe not.
Men in Black.
Mm.
Men in Black, where Orion, the kitty cat, has a galaxy that's living.
Yes. In his pendant.
In the pendant around his neck. It's like his little collar.
That's
he has this beautiful marble.
It's a full-on universe or something, right?
It's a universe.
Yes.
Or
don't
could
even
it be
go
a
there, 'cause that'll make my head explode. Don't.
It could be a nanobot. It could be a nanobot or something, or like some kind of something. But like the fact that you're talking about it being a Russian, like this is mechanical.
It seems like it could
within like a Russian doll. It's like you have like 6 or 7, stacked neatly, smaller than the next.
Right.
Interesting.
It is fascinating. It's fascinating. So these compounds are made up of elements including, here we go, beryllium, lanthanum, and uranium. And the levels of these elements are uncommon and enhanced hundreds of times. And he said they have never been seen before in any environment within our solar system, not on Earth, not on the moon, not on Mars. And again, these are interstellar, so they aren't anywhere from what we would call here.
So you're saying these compounds, these elements are not found on our periodic table.
They are, we have them, but not at this level, not in this compound and not in this intensity, for lack of a better term.
So there are more rare.
So in other words, they could manufacture this if they wanted to here on Earth. We could manufacture this material,
but it's not found naturally.
But it's It's not It's uncommon. It's like it's not something you could just go dig up.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's saying, it's possible these elements were put together in a technological process for a specific reason. Mm-hmm. His theory is that it's a solar sail. A solar sail. Do you know what a solar sail is?
No, I have no idea.
So if you've ever seen on space shows or movies or whatever, you have let's say your probe.
Yeah.
And it puts out solar sails to get energy.
Oh, like a yeah.
Like a little boat sail.
Yeah, a boat sail or like the solar panels that we have on our houses, but they're thinner, right?
Yes, like microscopic thin, especially the ones in space. Like they have to be super thin, and they go out, and that's how they capture energy,
like tinfoil.
In order to like tinfoil.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's what he thinks this material is.
So it can continue. It's like it acts like a battery, and it can continue to go towards the destination it's heading for.
Right.
Or
a
probe just exploring.
Right. So he thinks this is alien technology set adrift through space thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, which he says would also equate to the increased speed.
Towards
of the object, which made it be going so fast.
Sure.
He says, again, he likens it to the situation of the probes that the U.S. has sent up to other planets and will never return. That's what he keeps equating it to.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is that there are other potential that there are bigger parts of this still in the ocean. Because during their collection on the seafloor, they had this camera attached to the sled, to this magnetic thing that was pulling stuff up. Mm-hmm. And the video picked up them coming in contact with a much larger object, but they couldn't get it up. It was way too big.
It was too heavy.
Yes. And so with what they were doing, they couldn't retrieve it or really see it. Because, imagine all the sludge and everything,
Well, and you're trying to pull something out. Like, it's like when you're in water and you have jeans on and it's so ridiculously heavy. It's like you can't move fluidly within the water. Mm-hmm. It's like it can be incredibly hard, right?
Sure. Yeah. And they just weren't set up for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course. Why would you be?
Yeah. Why would you be?
Yeah.
But they're like, well, this thing needs to be examined. We need to know what that thing is. But it was going to be costly for the technology that they needed to get this out of the seabed floor. It was going to be kind of expensive, so they had to not only get funding, they had to actually get approval.
Right.
Which takes us, interestingly, to the PNG National Research, which is the what's the hell is this place called? I said Papua New Guinea. I lost their name. So the Papua New Guinea National Research Institute, you have to get approval, probably like with any coastal line, to do stuff.
Yeah. It's still within their boundaries. And
Yeah.
It's like digging up anything.
And so what's interesting about this is that with all this hubbub, the PNG National Research Institute says that they never received an application from this group to conduct the research. But if you talk to Professor Avi and this research coordinator, his name was Rob McCallum, who's kind of helping the professor kind of organize all this thing, they insist that they had been engaging with the PNG government for months leading it up to this expedition and had applied for this permit. And so it was kind of suspicious that now that, there's all this hubbub, that there's suddenly a problem.
Right.
Well,
these are people who like apply for grants all the time. You think they're not going to be on top of that shit?
So playing the devil's advocate, they did apply, but the application, they said, didn't really fit into what they were doing, admittedly. And so they never technically got approval for this dig.
Oh, okay. They're like, well, we thought this would just cover it.
Yeah. And so, but the problem is, when it comes to this kind of stuff, you have to be skeptical about people's motives. Had this been anything else, you'd been like, well, you didn't get an approval, bitch. That's why they're being a thing. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you're like, well, is that really why they're throwing a fuss?
There's a concerted effort of disinformation.
Yeah.
Also, Papua New Guinea has like very close ties to the United States government.
What I imagine, because they are, down with Australia.
Yeah, and Australia.
All of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I'm not trying to create controversy where none exists, and this really could just be, red tape. But again, with this topic, we've seen way too many times where they, like you said, disinformation, try to cover things up, use one excuse after another to say why something isn't legit, or
you'll release information and then say, well, yeah, like it's like I was like posting earlier, like it is like the Epstein list, where there is a lot to be lost in being transparent. Power is removed from people who are currently in power. So why it would be way easier to keep people uninformed.
Sure.
Well, or unsure.
It wouldn't be precedent. It wouldn't be setting a precedent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't trust any of the information.
Right. So this professor has an interview with CBS News, and he says, quote, "If there is a technological gadget down there, I would be curious to see if there are any buttons on it, because then the question is, should we press the button?" And I'm like, why would you say that?
Because he's a fucking crazy ass scientist. He's like, I'm curious. We can't pull it up, so why not just fuck with it? You're like, thank God you are not part of the atomic bomb.
Thank God. Sociopath. Okay, so
but I mean, it's human curiosity, right? Like,
right.
You'd be like,
it's our jam, man.
Yeah.
Well, so this isn't the last we hear of Professor Avi. So just a week ago, it was reported that scientists are watching this newly discovered object in space. And most of them, of course, are calling it a comet. But Professor Avi, no. He says there are very clear signs that the comet, in which they're calling 3I Atlas, very well could be an alien craft.
Yeah.
So you say, well, why? Well, he says this too appears to be interstellar, but additionally, that it's on this weird course. And he says it's going to take it very near Venus and Mars and Jupiter. And he thinks the object appears to be intelligently directed as if it's an alien or an ET. And that the world should, quote, prepare.
Thank you.
He said, based on the current trajectory, the object will pass close to our sun on October 29th.
Okay. I have so many fucking thoughts about this. And I think we could probably, we can refer back to a couple of episodes. One, Project Bluebeam.
So it's you and I are so good at this because I was just going to say, do we all remember Project Bluebeam? And then I was going to say, Alicia, tell us about Project Bluebeam. Remind the class about Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing about Project Bluebeam. It sounds like a wackadoo conspiracy theory, and you're like, there's no fucking way, which is actually why I decided to do it. I thought this would be a slam dunk episode. I wouldn't believe in a goddamn word that this even said. However, that is not the case. I think that there's some legitimacy around this. So a man in Canada around the 1990s actually came out with this idea. His name is Serge Monast, and he's from Canada, like I said. And he said he was he was a reporter, and he reported on weird shit. We're talking about Bat Boy, that kind of stuff. He reported on weird stuff, but he actually had someone come up to him and say, I have information that I could share with you. And that information has to do with a concerted effort from the powers that be that currently, control everything to create a huge event that makes everyone question everything. And eventually this event, through technology that we can create, by the way, it is man-made. It's through the technology that these governments do not tell you that they currently have. They're going to be using it on the people at large within the world to unite them against an alien foe. And they have slowly been dripping this information in through Hollywood, through, academic papers like we're talking about currently, through news, to kind of condition people in this direction. So we talk about Men in Black, or Independence Day is one of the biggies that Serge Monast actually spoke about and said, hey, this is a way that they make you think or get you ready as a population for a potential alien invasion.
Yes.
This has been going on since the 1950s, since before then. And we know that aliens exist, but we need to unite people so they do not believe that there could potentially be peace and camaraderie within each other. We have to unite. The only way to unite is through a common enemy. And so there is no longer China and Russia and the US and Israel and Africa or the continent of Africa and South. It's not these separate continents. It's now we're all humanity and we are coming together.
Alicia did a podcast on this exact topic in much detail. I would encourage everyone, if you haven't, Project to go Bluebeam. Listen to it. And as with all of our episodes, and I've said this 100 times, everything starts to connect. All of our episodes have started to connect to each other, which I think is fascinating, and I never expected it to happen. It just happened. But since you are my favorite student, Alicia,
Yeah.
why don't you remind the rest of the class what the difference is between an alien and an ET?
Okay. So an ET is an extraterrestrial, meaning they do not come from here, right? They don't come from Earth.
Right.
They're outside of our terrestrial rock, outside of our rock. An alien comes outside of our planet, universe.
DNA. Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I propose this question.
Okay.
What do you think, how different do you think the, I don't know, consequence, implications of being visited from an ET versus an alien could differ? I mean,
Okay. I guess it would depend on what the alien looked like, but
yeah, what do you look like, bitch?
yeah. Do you look like us? Then,
Right, which we've talked about. So ETs have some level of not the same DNA, but some resemblance of our DNA. Whereas aliens, as I've said before in another episode, it's going to be like Star Trek, where you have the blob walking down the hall, and that's an alien because it has none of our shared DNA.
It does not look,
and it certainly would not look like us. So, and I'm not saying DNA makes how you look changes what you do or believe, but I feel like I think where you were going is if you have an extraterrestrial that looks like you are much quicker to accept and / adopt / work with / whatever than you would Bob the Blob.
Right. You can relate to it. Mm-hmm. It's something that is familiar. Mm-hmm. And, it's something that's familiar and maybe a little bit more comforting than Bob the Blob, walking through. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it sounds like you. It does not look like you. Mm-hmm. We can't even fucking tolerate people who have a different skin tone than us.
Right.
That is a problem with humanity.
Right.
So you think we'd be able to be cool with a blob?
With a blob?
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
No. So we combined all of that together. I mean, it's a little worrisome. Yeah. Now, and I've told you this, I'm dying to meet an alien or an ET. That's my wish.
You might die because you
but I literally
meet one.
Yeah, that's true.
They might kill you, depending on who you want to fucking talk to. It depends,
and of course they have to be nice. I don't want to meet a crazy person, but
the cool ones.
The cool ones, yes. But now I want to kind of take you to the other side of this story. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I want to literally play devil's advocate in this episode.
Okay. Please do. Yeah.
I mean, we love foil crazy trains. Mm-hmm. I mean, we live for that. In fact, we desire it to be real.
Right. We love a fantasy world.
Yes.
Come on.
Right. But I had to go down. I had to kind of search the other side of this. Something was telling me to search the other side of the story.
Yeah.
So Professor Avi, he has made a lot of money on his claims and his books and his papers. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that automatically means you're nefarious, but it makes you start to question your motives. I'm just saying money makes the world go round.
Yes.
Okay. So he creates this organization called the Galileo Project that looks for alien life. Mm-hmm. He has actually compared himself to Galileo.
Oh, what a guy.
What a
So
guy.
you're saying he's incredibly humble.
Yeah, very humble. Yes. But the guy does have some frickin' creds. He's a theoretical physicist. He has a PhD at Hebrew University, which is in Israel. Thank you. Has worked at Princeton. Is a Harvard professor. Who, by the way, only became tenured after 3 years.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
And eventually became the chair of the department in 2011. So, I mean, dude
Is capable.
got the credit. Capable. Got the credits.
They're not going to be giving him, this ability, which, okay, makes me question, like, why is he trying to get so much money?
I know that's the part that
If you're
always
tenured at
bothers
Harvard,
me. Like, why are you? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this guy on the YouTube channel. He goes by the name of Professor Dave Explains. That's the name of his YouTube channel, Professor Dave Explains. Okay. He calls AV a grifter and a fraud. Now, keep in mind, the other thing with what we have to do on this channel is we have to keep an open mind.
Right. And a skeptical ear, my friends.
And a skeptical ear. Got to keep both.
Got to listen to those facts.
Got to find the balance.
Yes.
He over an overarching way explains Avi's playbook as this. Writes a paper outside of his expertise that ignores or completely contradicts existing work and experts. He uses his Harvard reputation to create this buzz around ridiculous claims, quote him,
sure,
to help him sell books. And when experts, quote, expose your bullshit, which is what he says, he cries and plays victim of the establishment. Okay. Typical debunker kind of talk. But the more I watched what he said to prove
Avi,
to discredit Avi, the more he started really making sense.
Who started really making
Crazy Dave. We'll call him Crazy
Dave.
Dave. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is unnecessarily aggressive and unnecessarily demeaning.
Oh, we know all of these people.
We know these people.
Yeah, they're the ones who shoot up fucking schools.
And it makes
stuff.
me want to just slap him and say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But if you just get past that unnecessary aggressiveness and demeaning and just listen to the actual words and watch the proof, he makes very valid points.
He just may need to get laid.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So the valid points that he's making,
yes.
So you're saying he is writing these papers, or excuse me, Crazy Dave is saying that Professor Avi is writing these papers and has like no background knowledge of what he's talking about.
He's right. He's sometimes writing them. Generally, he says always. I'm going to say generally, based on what I've seen, writing things without all the facts, or if he knows the facts, ignoring the facts.
Kind of like sometimes what we do on the podcast.
Expert. Oh, what we do every day here. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
Which is not what you want from a Harvard professor. Yeah.
Right. So you remember Oumuamua?
I wrote it down.
What did I call it?
Oumuamua.
Yeah. Well, so Professor Avi claimed that this too was an alien spacecraft, and one of the main reasons he said it was because it had this really weird. Had this really weird light. They were tracking it, literally tracking it with a satellite, and they could watch it. It was doing these very strange lights, and he's like, "Oh, this is definitely a kind of alien. It's definitely alien." Well, I then found this TED Talk where this other scientist was actually talking about this particular find and completely explained that the reason that it looked like this was because it was really a long, like think of, what would I think of it? Like think of a rod
Yes.
a weird, odd shaped rod, not perfectly rod, but like,
Sure.
a rock. Imagine a long rod-like
Elongated
rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this thing is, not only is it spinning this, on the X axis, also the Y axis and the Z axis. So it's doing this weird thing. So when the sun's reflecting on it, it doesn't have a consistent reflection.
Sure.
And so it was creating all of these strange lights.
Yeah.
They completely explained it away very reasonably, and you can watch her talk about it.
Yeah, it makes complete
It
sense.
makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Well, this was just one example of this half an hour presentation that Crazy Dave does against Professor Avi.
Yeah.
And the more I watched, the more I'm like, again, aside from his crazy aggressive rants, it started to make sense.
Okay.
That Professor Avi is saying stuff that maybe is getting people excited for no reason.
Yeah.
Sensualizing, right?
Yeah. I mean, fuck, if it makes people like look up at the sky occasionally instead of at their phones.
See, that's the thing.
I don't know. I kind of
like, and see, and I this is the kind of shit I struggle with, because I am confident that we're not alone in the world.
Sure.
And while Professor Avi may be doing the things that Crazy Dave's talking about, it doesn't mean that it's false, nor does it mean that it's not real.
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at these situations, it's like it does not have to be all black and white. It does not have to be Professor Avi or Crazy Dave. Like, it can be somewhere in between.
Yes.
Where and it often is where the truth is found.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. One other thing that Crazy Dave says is that those spheroids that he found on the ocean floor, they're found everywhere. Like, you can find them littered kind of all over the ocean floor. And what did he say? He says that the ocean floor is littered with a concentration of cosmic spherules and micrometeorites, as well as volcanic ash and coal ash. So these types of objects are essentially everywhere, and they have been collected routinely for decades.
Okay, that would make sense.
So again, when you hear, maybe that's true, but that doesn't necessarily negate what they are, right? Or what they could be.
Right. I mean, if this planet has been around for so long, and like our universe is ever expanding and infinite, like, it would make sense that you would have space junk.
Sure. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And the last thing I wrote down was that he said it's a very good chance that where they were scraping wasn't anywhere near the impact field. In fact, he showed a map of where they estimate that the field was, and then they had this line where the boat actually was, and it wasn't actually at that site. And remember, we can't even find a fucking airplane.
Right.
There's an airplane we can't even fucking find. Yeah. So that kind of had some validity to it too, right? Mm-hmm. Again, I leave us all with keeping an open mind, keeping the skeptical ear. You have to make your own judgments. And you can't just always take a single side, right? And say this is always fact. Like you said, there's this area of gray.
Yeah. I agree. Actually, I have something pulled up, and I didn't tell you about this.
Okay.
But we have talked about this. Our friend, not our friend. We wish he was our friend, but we're fanning over him.
Lazar?
No, but close. Jeremy Corbell.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love him. Mm-hmm. Does a lot of really cool shit, and works with a lot of military folks. Has been in the alien world for a long time. He has talked about something that I think has something to do potentially.
Ooh, interesting.
With
Fascinating.
what we're talking about.
Love
okay?
it.
This
yes.
thing that is coming towards our Earth.
Ooh.
So remember this.
Okay. Is it the same object I was just talking about, or is it a different object? Same object.
Well,
oh, we don't know.
We don't know, but this was something that was talked about at the beginning of 2025 or the end of 2024. Okay.
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 Now wants you to know one truth, and that truth is that UFOs are real. They've already done told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie, and that's coming. I have zero doubt that lie is coming. What is the lie? Specifically, you want me to say it right now? For real? Real?
Yes.
Please.
To be put in the show?
Yes.
Okay. Problem with that. If we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really think about if you want to put this in your show.
Don't worry, we're definitely
For real.
putting it in the show.
That's a real thing, I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show? Absolutely. Okay. So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. Fuck. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told.
Oh my
You even
God.
got a date. People been whispering a date for a long time.
Do not say October 29th.
I
I'll
know
shit myself.
where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong.
Why would he say
I
that?
hope I'm wrong.
Why would he say
I
that?
sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to
2025.
propagate that lie. Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through and now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. It's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God, we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong. But it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it.
Okay, I'm just going to end it there. So the year that he was talking about was 2027. He had texted that group. I've heard that the year that they would be releasing this was 2027. The beginning of the year, I'm not sure that the scientists had really been talking about this asteroid or this comet or whatever that's supposed to be getting close to our Earth in 2025 of October. I just think it's interesting. And I think...
Do you know what bothers me? Is when he says, I hope I'm wrong.
Because it's fabricated. This is a fabricated thing. The idea, and maybe I didn't share that part, but the idea is that there is a thought, like let's say we're going to go into like the standard Star Trek thing where first contact happens. You align it with the government. You say, okay, we're going to make first contact. This is how we're going to, this is like the set protocol that we have in sharing that you're not alone in the universe.
Right.
That's something that we've been talking about from a Star Trek perspective. What if that's something that has been talked about from, a governmental or world perspective? And there was a date from, this group saying, hey, we'll have like a whole celebration or like a party where this is how we say hello, we're here, we come in peace kind of thing, and this is the date that we're going to do it.
Right.
And instead of saying, yes, we're going to comply and we know that you guys exist and we're going to extend our hand and say it's nice to see you, instead we're going to say you guys are the enemy, and these people who know about it are in positions of power, so they may say, I have everything to lose. And we have been lying to these people for years and years and years, and they will come at us and try to destroy us. Or we're going to lose out on money and like all of these ridiculous things from it.
Right.
So it would unite humanity against a common
threat.
Enemy. Yeah, threat. Enemy. I mean, fucking Ronald Reagan said it in a speech. What would be the best way for us to, come together as humans? It would be to have an alien force come out and, be threatening. That's the only way.
It's how all the movies portray it.
We have been slowly dripped this information, which makes me think fucking Project Bluebeam might have a little, like it just causes me to question everything.
Right.
How is it that, you have NASA, you have all these like, organizations who are looking at space all the time. You are saying that like this one looks like it could be like, I don't know. There's something up with it.
And that's what we were saying before, is that these sphericals may just be some remnants of some natural occurrence that whatever, but that's just one thing in the pool of things.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right.
Well, a great way to, to send out the truth is to overwhelm people. And there we have a lot of overwhelm. So, okay, what are we going to do on October 29th?
Well, so I was just thinking about that. So it says it's passing by the sun, not us.
Not us, but it's the closest,
sun,
right?
Right. Passing close to the sun on the 29th. So how I interpreted it was it's going to go through the sun and just keep going. It's not going to like curve around the sun and head towards us.
Right.
Right. And the way that Crazy Dave explained it was that this object was in another, so let's like imagine a planet exploding.
Yes.
And this debris goes forever, and then it leaves its solar system, and then our sun slowly starts to pull it towards it.
Right.
And like a magnet, exactly. And so that's why it'll pass closest to it's just eventually going to pass us on October 29th, the sun, and just keep on going. It might curve a little bit because of the gravitational pull, as stuff does, but they'll just keep on going. Again, with all of the information, all of the things it could be, all of the things, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's a meteor, maybe it's not. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, again, when you start compiling everything together.
Right.
Trying to take it trying to consume all of this into a greater picture.
But can we also say, like at the top of every show, like you were saying just before, keep an open mind, keep a skeptical ear, but keep on listening to the facts. Also discernment. Can we insert discernment? Does something feel right? Does it not feel right? Does it seem like this person's a charlatan or a bullshitter?
Truly.
Listen to your...
Truly.
Don't listen to your heart. Listen to your intuition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll tell you a lot.
That's right.
Good God.
So there we go.
So I think we should have like a really nice bottle of champagne and like dress in silks and potentially welcome our
new
alien,
friends.
extraterrestrial friends.
I'm up for it. I told you that.
Okay, let's do it. October 29th, Denver, Colorado, friends.
Great.
We may be hiding in the basement looking fabulous, but
We'll have a cocktail.
yeah, for sure. Oh my God, thank you for that.
Well, thanks for
episode.
joining me today.
Happy to.
Okay, we'll see you all soon.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.